Namaste, cheeky grasshoppers out there, and welcome to our Monday together. Um, so today I'm gonna hopefully warm you up a little bit um, for pure survival reasons. Get the energy also warming up, and today we're gonna just be spreading out, taking up a lot of room, expanding. So this is kind of quite a good antidote, I find, to the way that we hunch when we're a bit colder, and obviously that sort of desk smallness. So if you're feeling small, this is going to be to sort of take that space open again. So today we might be into a little bit of hips and looking after the alignment of the knees as much as possible. So do go easy. If you are in doubt or something doesn't feel quite right, remember, just come back a little bit or just take rests. Okay. So whenever you're ready, we're going to start off at the front of the mat, standing. And you're in your own home, so hopefully try not to feel too self-conscious. We're going to start with a bit of feeling. So if you've lost that along the way somewhere, hopefully we're going to get that back today. So when you're ready, we're just going to take the hands interlaced up and over the head. And I want you to just start by thinking of really shining that heart forwards as you widen out the elbow tips. Feel your breath coming into those places around the corners of the ribs and those deep pockets in the lungs. You might even slightly rock back and forth here to feel the feet. And then when you're ready, take another full breath in, imagine that space opening. And then exhale, still feet and bring your head really level, shoulders relaxed. Inhale, we're just going to lift the left elbow tip, find a bit of side space, and then just wriggle to the other side. And again, we're just thinking of a shift upwards, a shift of space, uncrinkling any sort of tightness around the ribs. Try and keep the head relaxed and the jaw relaxed. And then when you're ready, inhale, bring your head center. And then we're just going to gently tuck the chin towards the chest. So your elbows come slightly closer together, maybe around shoulder distance. And there's a feeling of a slight weight of the hands on the back of the head. And if you haven't already, we're going to close the eyes here and notice how far you feel that extension, that stretch through the neck, down, maybe even to the middle of your back. On your next breath out, just take a little bend in the knees, trust yourselves. We're just going to let your hands slide around to the front of your head. So you actually get a feeling of just sort of releasing any tension from the scalp. Down the sides of your face again, just imagine we're taking away any tension from the face. Down the sides of the body, down the thighs, and all the way to the feet. And actually feel your feet as you find that first forward fold and just give your head a little shake out. Maybe there's a sense of needing to empty that breath. Always go with that sensation. Just empty from the mouth. If your feet, your tootsies are cold, tootsies, you might even give them a little rub with the hands. So then we're kind of coming back to sensation. And then we're going to exhale and reverse that. So a little bend in the knees and we're just going to sweep. And imagine drawing energy from the strength in the feet up through the legs, surrounding the spine, slide across the thighs, up the sides of the ribs, around the back of the head. And then as you exhale, just bring your prayer position together towards the chest, shoulders back and down. Again, you might take a breath or two here, sighing, you feel there's something you want to empty. And then just a couple of moments of sort of peace and quiet within yourself. So don't worry if it's not actually quiet where you are. See if you can just make that feeling for yourself. So we're going to start to bend the knees. Engage your core a little bit. So starting to warm up your breath, maybe in and out through the nose. We're going to inhale, stretch the arms forwards and stretch your tailbone back. Inhale. And then exhale, just release your elbows to your sides as you stand tall. Inhale, almost dragging that forward through your shoulders, lengthen, lengthen, crown away from tailbone. And then exhale, hands just to your sides. Inhale, we'll just reach, feel a little of those glutes starting up. And then exhale to your sides. One more time, inhale. Exhale, this time we're opening the arms to fold forwards, lifting your tailbone. So this second forward fold may be a little bit more engaged rather than releasing. Knees might slightly soften so we get this really nice long spine. Your knees can stay bent throughout. We're just taking energy, pushing down through the feet and lifting the tailbone up, so there's that opposition, down and up. And then we feel the head drop and more space for your vertebrae. Feel what your breath does in this sort of dangling energy. Take another deep breath and feel like this is a way to take up space as well. To feel the vertebrae, just feel that extra millimeter of space. I'm going to lift the right foot, start to step that back to lunge. It can be a few bounces back. As we inhale, we're going to come forwards, bending your left knee. You can land your right knee to the ground and we're going to start to move forwards and back. So we can sort of panther walk the hands forwards and back with us, and it doesn't have to be a big movement. As you come back each time, the head might drop. And then as you bring your breath in each time and we move forward, we're kind of lifting the heart. Carrying on those two nice opposites to warm up the hips. You might start to come off the right knee if there's space to, and lift the hips. You can stay on the knee behind there if you want to. And find that there's space in the breath as the movement deepens. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, come down to your right knee, find your crescent moon, which might mean bringing the hips back to lift the chest. Inhaling, fingers at shoulder distance apart as you move forwards, only as much as you want though, this doesn't have to be this deep. Going to keep lifting the chest, squeezing the thighs together, and let's take up some room widthways. So I want you to spread your fingers, open your chest, and feel like we're creating this really nice big ball that we're holding with the arms, so everything's kind of round. And we're going to wriggle the fingers here. Feel like you're really indulging in breath in that chest space. Full breath in. On your next breath, we're rising the arms. Next breath out, we're framing the front foot. So we're going to take your left foot slightly wide, so it ends up maybe on the edge of the mat or a little bit closer. Toes pointed slightly out to the side, and the knees going to try and follow those toes. And keeping your right hand on the ground as we just take your left arm up into the air. Just shifting your shoulders a little closer together, opening the chest. Good. Allow however much space you feel is necessary in the hip. You can even roll to the outer edge of your left foot here. Increase that space in the hip. And then exhale, we're coming down. Take the back knee up so that we can strengthen the arms. Shoot both feet back and find your child's pose for a moment. Nice long spine. As we breathe in, we're going to find a round space in your shoulders. Bring yourself up through table and then down to your belly. Making sure that you've got enough room where you are. Your knees are at hips distance apart. We'll take the hands under the shoulders, lift the chest. Through cobra, back on tucked toes. I'm just going to do that one more time. Roll into your back. Exhale to the ground. Inhale, lift the chest through cobra. Back on tucked toes. This time as you take a couple of breaths, let that feeling settle. And maybe lift the wrists as well into engaged fingertips. See if you can almost energize your wrists in opposition forwards to your tailbone moving back. So you get this feeling of expansion in a deeper but more subtle place. Breathing into the back of the chest to release it, thaw it out. Good. Release the hands down. Find your way into tabletop and we'll find your down dog from here. Engaging the knuckles, engaging the palms, lifting the tailbone. Any little shifting movement that feels good today. So each heel can pedal down so we get that stretch on the calves alternating. Or maybe the hips are a bit more of a priority for you, shifting side to side. Keep the arms strong, the chest open, freedom in the breath. We're going to inhale, look ahead to the hands, jump or step forwards. Exhale to fold. Hands at each opposite elbow here. Shift a bit of extra space down. So there's this feeling of sort of bouncing. The head is between the arms. You might even take that a little bit side to side. Again, whenever that breath wants to release, just go for it. And we're going to do the same thing as we did before. Take your hands to the feet. If they need it, warm up the toes. And then bring sensation and energy all the way through the feet as you bend the knees a little bit. Hands slide up the shins, thighs, sides of the body, back of the head. And sort of melt down the face a little bit if it's been a bit of a tough day. Hands towards the chest. Feel grounded through the feet, shoulders back and down. Repeating in Utkatasana, arms up. Exhale, open and wide, shoulders low. Inhale, reaching forwards, tailbone back. Exhale, arms low, shoulders low. One more time. This time as we take the tailbone back, arms up and forwards, we're folding down. Full breath in, we're going to lift the left foot, step it back. We're moving in and out of lunge, so your right knee is going to bend. We're landing the left knee to the ground. We can travel between those 2 points as aligned as possible in the hips and as aligned as possible in the chest. And then feeling where the chest and the breath is. So as we round slightly, we drop the head, breathing out. As we lift chest, shoulders come down, we breathe in. You might stay along that back shin, or you might come off the back knee into more of a engaged, energetic lunge, hips up, flexing the heel. So there's no right way to do this, just feel it out. Make it feel good for you. When you're ready, we're coming forwards. We're going to land the left knee. Align hips, chest, knee. Find your crescent moon. Lift into both arms. As we exhale, we're going to move forwards as little or as much as you want. It doesn't have to be too deep. We're going to indulge in some width across the chest, spread the fingers, catch a nice big round ball here. Wriggle the fingers. So this feeling of a sort of tantalization of bringing more space into your chest widthways. Feel like you can almost take that millimeter of space into your shoulder blades out. Next breath in, we're going to lift the arms. Next breath out, framing the front foot. So we're going to start to take your right foot a little bit wide, so it's sort of on the edge of the mat perhaps, or a bit closer is fine. Toes pointing out, knee follows that set of toes. Left hand to the ground or left fist. Or if you're finding it hard to reach the ground, you can even be here, taking a wide lunge, hands on the thigh. We're going to breathe in and open up that right arm if our hand meets the ground. And just listen to the space that hip is taking. And if you want to take it a bit further, you might take that right outer edge of the right foot. But just listen to your body. It might be that that's not available to you today, which is totally fine. Stay within your good feeling. Shoulders slightly together, energy through your torso. And we're breathing to expand for one more. As we exhale, let's come back down, flatten that right foot, move back from hip stretch. Energize the arms, pick up the knee, come back to both shins. As we exhale and slide back, take a moment just to give your head a little roll side to side. Again, we're just bringing energy through the forehead. And we're going to do the same thing. Inhale, round the spine through tabletop to your belly. And then pressing your chest, hands under the shoulders, off the ground, through cobra, onto tucked toes. Inhale, round, through center to the belly. Exhale, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, tucked toes. Breathing to sort of relax the spine here. You can pick up the wrists as we did before. If you want to take a bit more space in the same place, come up to tabletop. And we'll find it from here, taking the hands forwards onto engaged fingers and bringing the chest, melting it down between the arms. So keep your tailbone reaching back gently as your forehead meets the ground. So that's quite deep. Don't worry if you just want to come back and relax on child's pose. Notice if there's any pressure building somewhere else for deepening that, and just take it back if you need to. Last two, and one. Exhale, we're going to send your hips back towards your untucked toes. Breathe. Walk your hands towards your knees. And just find a moment of just rotating the ribs. So forwards and around to the right, and then left and back to the center. If it helps you, you could bring your fingertips to the ribs so that you can actually feel this circle, because it might be a bit of an alien movement to begin with today. And then we're just going to rotate the other way. And then if you get comfortable with the feeling involving the chest, the head, bring the hands back to the thighs. And when you're ready, inhale, come center. Breathe out of the mouth. And then just breathe through the nose. Let yourself kind of settle from a few of those repetitions. So we're going to move forwards, just enough to tuck the toes, come up onto the balls of the feet. Take a moment to appreciate that little sort of calf stretch, toe stretch. As we inhale, We're lifting the tail, dropping the head nice and heavy. Or take one hand to each opposite elbow in your raggy doll. You can bounce it out, you can breathe out of the mouth. And then we're going to do the same thing, warm up the toes. A little bend in the knees. We're just going to softly slide the hands up the shins, thighs, sides, back of the head. Nice and tall as we land the hands towards the chest. Okay, so we're going to come into one last kind of warming movement. So we're going to step your right foot forwards, or whichever foot enables you to see me still. We're going to stay wide. Actually, let's take the right foot because this is going to involve a little coordination. So we're going to step the feet wide. We worked into the hips a little bit, so we're going to take the feet turn slightly out and allow the hips to gently open as we bend the knees. And it doesn't have to be much. Don't feel you have to come down really far on this wide squat, but feel how the thighs are warming up. Arches of the feet are active and your back is trying to slide down a wall as we use our core and root muscles. Good, so if you need or you want a bit more space, you can always take the feet a bit wider, spread the knees a little bit wider, but look after those knees and hips today. One hand to each thigh, inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, just take a little twist towards your right foot, left shoulder comes down. Inhale, come center, we're going to come and look towards the back of your mat. Right shoulder comes down. One more each side. Inhale, center. And opening the arms. So you get this feeling of like engaging in this wide squat, more space in the chest. And again, you can wiggle the fingers. Okay, coordination time. We're going to take your left arm towards the front of your mat as you turn everything parallel, ball of the foot behind, bringing your right arm back. So you're actually on your twisted lunge. Breathe to hold. You might look slightly right here. Inhale, just gently come and find that wide squat again. We're going to do the same to the other side, so away from the front of your mat. So we're going to take your right hand towards the back of your mat. Let both hips face the back of your mat. Turn your head to the left. Squeezing the hips together. And then lifting slightly to come find that squat again. Exhale. Good. We're going to move between the two. Inhale, left hand forwards, right hand back. Open in squat. Don't let me shift you off balance. Inhale, right hand forwards, left hand back. Exhale, open. Good. If you can, speed it up or go at your own pace. Left hand forwards, right hand back. Open. Right hand forwards, left hand back. Open. Now try to take more space in the chest, squeezing the thighs together, open. Right hand forwards, open. I just feel like this is kind of your antidote to feeling a bit squeezed and small, everything nice and reaching, open. Left arm forwards, open. Right arm, open. Align the feet as you start to release the knees from bend. Exhale, hands behind you. Interlacing your hands to elbows, lift the chest. Exhale, coming all the way forwards to fold. Lengthen, lengthen. If you need to, a little bend in the knees. Or releasing the hands early to the ground. Exhale, we're going to release the hands. Turn to face your front foot. And just find your down dog. Nice relaxed head and neck. And your hands really sort of engaged on the ground. Knuckles, palms, heavy crown. Good, so if it suits you today, we're going to take just a little moment of woohoo. Again, just to sort of break any feelings of staleness. We might just bend the knees gently, use a little bit of core strength, and take a bunny hop, as if you're kicking your bum with your own heels. And you kind of press the ground away as you do this. We'll just take one more. And maybe this is going to prepare us to jump through to cross legs. So you might look slightly ahead. If you don't feel like it, just bring your knees gently down, switch to cross legs. And find your way into center. Good, we're going to slow it down. Shift the hips side to side, shoulders back and down. Inhale, bringing the left elbow up, right arm underneath, and taking hold of your shoulders. Find a bit of a spread on the back of the neck. Inhale, we're going to rotate and maybe find a bind of the arms if that's available to you today. Otherwise, hands to shoulders is great. So I want you to feel like there's a little bit of cat-cow here. So as we inhale and lift the elbows ever so slightly, there's a feeling of rounding, arching, the spine. And then as you exhale, elbows come tuck towards the belly button, there's a feeling of rounding slightly. Inhaling, slight arch, lift. Exhaling, slight round. Inhaling, slight lift. Exhaling, round. Inhaling, release. Release the arms, hands to the knees, and we'll do as before, a breath to empty from the mouth, and then breathing through the nose, a breath to settle. Other side, right elbow up, left underneath, hands to shoulders, nice round space in the back of the neck, shoulder blades. We can wrap into the forearms if there's room for that today. Inhale, elbows lift slightly. Elbows slightly tuck as you breathe out. And involve the spine a little more. Inhale, slight arch. Pressing sit bones into the mat. Exhale, slight round. Elbows and belly button. Inhale, slight lift. Exhale, slight round. Inhale, release. Hands to knees, one breath to empty. Breathing through the nose, mouth closed, breath to settle. Okay, we're going to just take an antidote for that eagle arm position. Let you take your fingertips behind you on your mat and actually feel just a little finger stretch. So not leaning back too far before you take your hands to the ground. Inhale, we're just going to lift the pelvis, stretch the inner arms. Start looking gently forwards as you land your tailbone. Bring the knees up and just bundle up. As we exhale, coming all the way down to the ground. Taking your left foot into the air to stretch and rotate the ankle, wriggle the toes. Your right knee is still bent, your right foot flat on the ground. It's coming to thread the needle and really allow that landing. Left heel flexed on top of the right thigh. Let the knee open, feel a squeezing of your back as you rise your right thigh. Your fingertips can just relax onto the ribs. But if you want a little more stretch, we'll take the hands behind the right thigh and squeeze down, shoulders as well. So make sure everything can align on the ground. If you can't, with the hands connected, maybe just release that arm connection. So get this feeling of landing the spine all the way from your crown, back of the head, shoulders. all the way to your lower back. Feel that juicy glute stretch, squeezing your right thigh towards you. Settle your breath with one nice big deep breath, especially the out breath, pressing your back into the ground. Release your grip if you're using one, and switch over. Left foot flat to the floor, right foot into the air, rotate the ankle, wriggle the toes. Right heel on top of the left knee, knee open. Feel that different space in the hip. We can either lift the left thigh towards us, hands relaxed on the belly, ribs, feeling the breath. Or making sure your right heel is strong and flexed, taking your hands behind the left thigh and moving back. See if you can relax your back and head. Maybe not connecting those hands if their chest is lifting from the ground. So we want to relax the spine. Maybe even close the eyes here. Feel the back of the head, back of the shoulders, and squeezing your last couple of out breaths through your lower back. Breathe in again. Exhale, release. Give your knees a little squeeze towards your chest. Maybe even a big circle over the lower back with the kneecaps. Circle the other way, ease that lower back. Good. And then we're just going to finish on that feeling of expansion. So from your heart space, just lift your chest off the ground so you're in a little cannonball on the floor. And then as you inhale on your next breath, open out like a starfish along the ground. So you spread your feet a little wider than your mat, your arms too. Exhale, back into your little cannonball. Inhale, stretch open. And exhale, back into your cannonball. This time, inhale, send your feet and hands into the air, rotate the wrist and ankle joint. And exhale, relax down to your Shavasana. You can wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, and then relax every muscle, feeling like your face can also become completely neutral, effortless. Root of the tongue slightly heavy. Backs of the eyes soft. And breath flowing freely through the body from that open chest. Spend a few moments here, just letting the breath be free and taking over. As we did at the start, but along the floor now, feel like there's a sense of letting in peace. Even if there's sounds around you, there's a feeling of stillness, apart from that breath movement. And feel as if your breath can deepen and actually sort of flood the body with a feeling of release, all the way from each tiny corner to to the tips of the toes, the tips of the fingers and the crown of the head. Everything can relax and become effortless. Breathing for the last couple of breaths. Allow that exchange, bringing in new energy, releasing anything stale. Feel that nice exchange, making us a little more hydrated inside. Wriggle those fingers and toes away. Stretch your arms above you on the ground like a big yawn. And then flop your arms nice and heavy either side of your hips. Bring up the knees. Roll over to your left side. And gently, gently, let's find our way up. Cross legs position. So nice and tall through your spine, hopefully feeling more open in the chest. We'll turn the palms face up. Feel like you're receiving what is your environment, what makes up your present moment, but we're retained in our inner space at the heart. So our connection is felt and kept as we very gently start to open the eyes, allowing the worlds, inner and outer, to blend back together. Prayer positions, bowing to yourselves. Namaste. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that you are having a really nice Monday. I'll see you guys really soon. Lots of love. Ciao.